to come and share his framework that he has for it.
Very good evening to all of you. Honorable panelists on the dais, galaxy of graduate audience. Before actually I dwell upon, I will take a few minutes time to take you back and the existing scenario in our Indian education system. That how we are lacking the ranking, how we are lacking the research, because ranking is very much interrelated to the research. Indian education, frankly speaking, has been vociferously been debated, discussed, and lot many papers have been presented right from beginning that how best our universities probably have not been able to catch up with the world quality and standard. The days were there with the Takshila and Nalanda. We were proud to be a world seat of learning, and people from different corners of the world, they used to come and they used to study here. Really, we need not had any ranking system. That ranking was probably all pervading. But then despite the presence of prestigious IITs, IIMs, that is compared to the standard and quality, we have been running down and running far behind many of this time. All of our colleagues, they have discussed about the QS World University Ranking. There are only two institutes, as everybody knows, that Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, with 147th rank, and Indian Institute of Delhi, with 179 rank. So in 100 also, none of our university who are claiming to be so big and doing so much of research work, what can be the reason? If you ponder, from 70 onwards, the IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur, all those universities came only prior to that 1970. And when you take the third position, which is after, say, within 400, the IIT Bombay, then the next is IIT Madras, and then IIT Kharagpur, and then IIT Roorkee. These are the 7 universities which finally they are ranked in the 400 by QS World University Ranking. So this such sorry a state of affairs. Really, we have been losing ground year after year. So what can be the reason? What all we are doing is a really common introduction to all the conscious custodians of higher education like us, that whether we have made the introspection, where we are lacking, because we have now, our colleagues, they have given so many items and agendas, really where in that front where we are very much lacking, and we will have to work out some solution. Now as today, almost 770 universities are there in India. Every day, probably every month, a few universities are being added. That is the base of expansion. And many efforts have been made. The Knowledge Commission of 2006, they have recommended so many changes in the curriculum, the research, and how to come in the better ranking. Then again, 2009, the rejuvenation of Indian education system by Jaspal, the very voluminous report is available. But higher education, again framework that has been studied in 2015 by Hari Gautam, and 2016 AICT also has come out with their studies on what lies or what actually is the problem in the Indian education system. And latest the report of the T.R. Subramaniam, which throws light and he advocates the new education policy which is likely to be adopted by the Ministry of University Development. When a Sprout, who is the chairman of QS World University Ranking, he says that India with all potentialities, how come that India probably is not able to make out? There are these two major components of the ranking. Our colleague has very rightly told that none of our Indians probably they are there in the panel. And the major component is that how many international faculties you are having in your institute, what is your university, and number two, what is the percentage of international students? In 2015, hardly 30,000 students from all over the globe were studying in India and in different universities in whole of India. Then how can you expect that you will be getting so many numbers? And there only our number, actually our rank, it slips. Then the other two regions that he has pointed out, that he says the dearth of the resources, find the money or the finance part, and the other he is telling that lack of academic leadership. Finance, as important it may be, but the other factor is the lack of the academic leadership. That really is posing a bold problem, and when our desire is to excel, this really poses a bold contradiction. Especially in the private sector, which is catering to more of 60% of the students in the higher education. With 40,000 colleges now at present in all India, 10,000 are there in the professional and technical educations. Out of this 10,000, so how many are there who are really equipped? Our colleagues, they have very nicely pointed out. We are not able to share with the existing labs which have all sorts of lab equipments in the government universities. With co-sharing, co-creation, that part is missing. We as a private, I am coming from a private university, much as I wish really, unless and until the revenue generation is so much, you cannot expect a promoter to put all the money and create all sorts of infrastructure matching to the world standard. That cannot be possible. Because it will take for me some time to create and get those infrastructure. Can't I use the laboratory of the Rajasthan Technical University or any other important university which is my vicinity, because I am working in Rajasthan, but that facility is not there. We have ourselves created a barrier that MOOC, we are talking a lot of things about MOOC, but what about some of the important universities? Fortunately, I have the privilege of being one of the 100 universities in India where quality enhancement in engineering education. That lecture is directly in our smart classes. Lecture is delivered by the IIT Madras. We are being mentored by IIT Madras. At times we get the lectures from the IIT Kharagpur also. But that advantage is there only to a few hundred institutes. But that advantage, can we not have a networking of all the IITs, especially the old IITs, which are really creating value? The knowledgeable people are there. Our students as well as ourselves also we can learn from them. But that ecosystem is not getting developed. That also is one of the major reasons for lack of research or the quality of research that we are doing that is not up to the mark. It is a very astonishing fact that in 2014 data I am having, the scientific papers presented by China, our neighbor, which boasts of 25 universities within 400. 8,673 scientific papers were produced by China. Even the South Korea, next is the USA, South Korea and Japan, they have also produced more than 3,000. But Indian scientific paper presentation was only 1,413. This all speaks clearly the much as the knowledge we are having, but the experimentation, the testing facilities, the guidance that is not forthcoming from our big brothers and peers. That coherence and coordination has to be taken care of. But the UGC, being the apex regulatory body, really there is no system also there that they can try to bring some coherence or some coordination amongst the university. At least only 700 universities are there. That should not be a big problem. But those universities at least we are really aspiring to do something in research, they should come. Other point that you will be wondering, last year the USA, they presented more than 350 research papers in different journals all over the world. They have contributed. In China, it is almost 250 papers. Only 28,000 papers have been presented by the Indian, say our scholars, AIP management, or in the science stream, or the technical or technology streams. So this all speaks for that really we are not very much serious about the research, and that's why we are failing in our ranking. Although with the little resources that we have been able to show, that also really speaks volume of our efforts that a few universities they have made, especially the IITs, and who all are there up to the 7th and 10th ranking. We are having some 27 institutes which are there up to 800. Each institute trying better income, and now the national ranking institutional framework that has recently been started by UGC. That also, but hardly there were not less than 100 takers. Nobody really like to go for that, because there also really the system is not very clear to what advantage we are going to get. Because especially as a private university, we are not going to get any grants, any aid, unless until we are, say, in the 12 Section 12 of the UGC Act. So for that very lot of paraphernalia is there. So what I really advocate and what I really appeal, that those regulatory body, they should come forward and they should really make a framework, and they should supplement, complement, even the financially they can support, or if not, at least they can prepare a ground in some other, say, labs and testing laboratories. We probably in a private university, we have coordinated with the private labs. Our chemistry department, we have coordinated with some of the labs which are set up in the private sector in Rajasthan and some other places. Thereby we are trying to utilize, and whatever tests that we have to conduct, that we are going there and paying the fees and we are conducting it. So if these facilities probably are given, definitely our ranking definitely will improve. First of all, as a private university, I feel really in our own ranking, in our NAC probably if we are able to secure A grade, in NIRF we are able to secure good ranking, probably we will be doing justice, and that will be probably leading to the getting to that is the world ranking by the time higher education ranking or previous ranking, and so many other rankings are there. The parameters that really they have laid down, that was very comprehensive, and all the parameters we have been trying to really fit in ourselves at where we stand. But we have seen that in many parameters really we cannot afford and we cannot come up to that expectation. That's why really our position will remain weaker unless until that a system or an ecosystem is developed where these things are supplemented. But I feel really the progress that we have been making all these days, we are progressing, and in the days to come, definitely most of the emerging universities, they definitely will be showing better results, and they will definitely come in the ranking framework, and even they will figure the world ranking. Thank you.
We can actually give a big round of applause to Dr.